Once upon a time, in the great city of Baghdad, the Caliph Harun al-Rashid went out one night with his vizier Jafar. He often walked among his people in disguise to learn about their lives. That night they were walking by the river Tigris when they saw a poor fisherman. The Caliph asked him, "Have you caught anything today?" The fisherman replied, "No, my lord. Fortune has not favored me today." The Caliph said, "Cast your net one more time. If you catch anything, I will buy it from you for a good price." The fisherman agreed and threw his net into the water. After a moment, the net became heavy. With great effort, he pulled it out, but instead of fish, he found a heavy wooden chest tied with ropes. The Caliph ordered it to be opened. When they opened it, they were shocked. Inside was the body of a young woman, cut into pieces. The Caliph was filled with anger. How could such a crime happen in my city? He said. He turned to Jafar and ordered, "You have 3 days to find the murderer. If you fail, you will be executed." Jafar was terrified but began his search. He searched everywhere in the city, but found no clue. 3 days passed. No answer. On the 3rd day, Jafar was brought to be executed. The rope was ready, and the crowd gathered. Just as the execution was about to happen, a young man stepped forward and shouted, "Stop, I am the murderer." The crowd was shocked, but before he could say more, an old man stepped forward and said, "No, he is lying. I am the real murderer." And at that moment, the mystery only deepened, but the truth was still hidden. And the mystery was far more complex than it seemed. At that critical moment, when Jafar was about to be executed, 2 men stepped forward and confessed to the crime. A young man said, "I am the murderer." But an old man also claimed, "No, he is lying. I am the real killer." The Caliph ordered both to be brought before him. He asked the young man to tell his story. The young man said, "The woman was my wife. I loved her deeply. One day, she became ill and asked me to bring her 3 apples. They were rare, so I traveled far until I found them in the royal gardens of Basra. I brought them home, but she was too sick to care. Days later, I saw her in the market holding one of the apples. I asked where he got it, and he said a woman had given it to him. Filled with anger and jealousy, I returned home and saw that 1 apple was missing. I asked my wife, but she said she did not know. In my rage, I did not believe her. I killed her and threw her body into the river. When I returned, my youngs stole det och stole him. In that moment, I realized the truth. My wife was innocent. I was filled with regret. The old man then said, "She was my daughter. Punish me instead." But the Caliph declared that the young man was responsible. However, he also ordered that the slave be found. Jafar searched and finally found him. The slave confessed that he had stolen the apple from the child. The truth was revealed. The Caliph punished the slave. And because the young man had confessed and repented, he was forgiven. Thus, the mystery of the 3 apples was finally solved.